It has now been 8 years since vanilla Persona 5 launched, and nearly 4 years since the Royal Edition came out. And after a questionable amount of spin-offs, I'm looking at you, Persona 5 Defend Mechs. When is Persona 6 coming out? At this stage, we really don't know, but there has been a lot of very interesting information about the much anticipated 6th entry in the Persona series. This is coming from a lot of credible leakers. And in today's video, I will be going through everything we know so far about Persona 6. So there's not really any spoilers, especially considering all of the information are rumors for now, but I will be putting a warning here that if you do not want to know anything about Persona 6 and want to go into the experience completely fresh, click off the video now. But if you want to know a little bit of, what it's possibly going to be about, then definitely keep watching. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys could please give this video a like, as it helps the algorithm, recommending this video to as many people as possible, and definitely subscribe for more Persona content. So most of the information I will be talking about is from our amazing queen herself, Midori, on Twitter. For those of you who don't know Midori, she is a very credible source of information about Sega and ATLUS games. Correctly predicting Persona 3 Reload, its episode Aigis DLC, and P5 Tactica, just to name a few of the leaks and stuff that she provided. I would definitely recommend following her on Twitter if you want more news about everything ATLUS and Persona, so go to it. I think the biggest piece of info we know so far would be the potential release of P6. So according to Midori on Twitter, P6 is on track for a 2025 release window, with a potential announcement at the end of 2024. The cycle between mainline games has been the longest it has been. Vanilla Persona 3 to Persona 4 was 4 years, Persona 4 to Persona 5 was 8, and if the rumors are true, then Persona 5 to Persona 6 will be approximately 9 years between mainline games. This is not including, their re-releases like FES, Golden, and Royal. I would assume that if there is an announcement this year, then it will be after Metaphor releases. ATLUS will definitely want to throw as much money as possible into marketing the next installment of Persona, and they can definitely do that once Metaphor releases. Even though we will have to wait a little bit longer, guys, it is actually nearly here. I can feel it. Please, no more spin-offs, please. This is further corroborated by a leaker known as Head on the Block, claiming that Persona 6 is a fully featured semi-open world game. It's 95% complete and is releasing next year with DLC. The bigger DLC will have story and characters, yes, but the full game is a full game. I just don't know why people are hampering on Persona having DLC, and don't question almost every other major single-player game that gets bonus DLC. It's weird to me, this isn't a new thing. So this confirms a couple of things. It seems like Persona 6 is most likely being released in 2025, and just like with recent ATLUS titles including Metaphor, P6 will have DLC. The word DLC really did kill the vibe for me, however if, and that's a very big if at this stage, after the episode Aigis debacle, if they do it correctly, and it's just an add-on instead of releasing a Persona 6 Reload version of the game, then I'm definitely all for that. But if they cut out a section of the game and release it a couple months later, then I'll be very, very disappointed. But this remains to be seen at this point in time. Persona has always been synonymous with PlayStation, however, the latest rumors surrounding the next mainline installment in the Persona series suggest that it is in development for multiple platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, and possibly Nintendo's next generation console, commonly referred to as the Switch 2. This information comes from Persona leaker Midori, indicating a potential expansion of the series' reach to new platforms. Furthermore, Video Game Insider Nate the Hate hinted at the possibility of Persona 6 launching simultaneously on Xbox and PlayStation, considering the evolving relationship between Xbox and ATLUS. While not confirmed, Nate suggests that the Persona series' history of multiple platform releases makes it a plausible scenario for Persona 6. A lot of people were also speculating the age setting of the new Persona game. Many people wanted to see an adult cast similar to Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and it seems like the general consensus, at least from what I read online, would be open to the change. Unfortunately though, for those people, it seems like the next Persona game will not leave the confines of high school life. However, there was another leak talking about the potential of the protagonist of P6 being a third-year high school student getting ready for the adult life, rather than being a second year. So keep watching more for that one. Me personally, I don't really mind having another high school cast. As an adult who works a full-time job, being an adult isn't actually that much fun, and you definitely start to lose the magic of being a teenager who still has dreams and aspirations. Trust me guys, I'm not depressed, it's okay. Anyways, Traditional to the modern iteration of Persona, and retroactively for Persona 1 and Persona 2, color plays a huge role in the identity of the games. What I mean by this is how Persona uses color palette throughout each of the game's story, combat, gameplay systems, and UI. Blue for Persona 3, yellow for Persona 4, and red for Persona 5, for example. Well, from Queen Midori, it is all but confirmed the color theme for Persona 6. Persona 6 will have the predominant color of green. Now, many people were speculating the color would be green from various 25th anniversary Persona art, such as this one with all the mainline protagonists in front of a graffitied wall and a bucket of paint next to Joker. That is, you guessed it, green. In fact, if you actually line up all the protagonists with their respective Persona title number, it actually comes up with the hex code for the exact color of green in the paint bucket. Like, seriously, like, what? What? The 25th anniversary artwork shows off a lot of graffiti art, and art as a medium for the protagonists in general. Yes guys, I am definitely alluding to something here. From a Reddit thread approximately 5 months ago, I will link it in the description, someone who claims to have been on the dev team for Persona 6 shared some details surrounding the game. Now, I honestly thought this was a major bullshit because they talk about working with Katsura Hashino, even though he's not part of the P Studio anymore, as well as claims green being the color palette and art being a main theme of the game. Wait, hold up. Green and art being a main theme of the game. You see where I'm going with this, guys, right? You see, Midori confirmed green being the new theme color 4 months after the leak came out on Reddit. And when I read that from Midori herself and looked at the artwork, graffiti artist, painting, etc. from the 25th anniversary event, I immediately went back to this thread and read it with bated breath. So here we go. So this user claims the following. The game is being done by new staff with the supervision of Mr. Watanabe, Mr. Doi, and Mr. Hashino. The main team is focused in ReFantazio game, which is Metaphor. And this would actually be true. Even though Hashino isn't working directly on P6, I highly doubt that he isn't involved at all. He's probably just working as a consultant. It's been a very long time since the last main launch, not counting Royal, because of some reasons. Development being returned to zero a few times, part of a normal in-game development and part of it not fitting expectations. And the other part because of the art team being working a lot to develop a large amount of new demons, 70 plus not counting bosses. Now everything is fine. So this is also very possible. I do work in development and design industry and a lot of time this can happen. But also 70 plus new demons not counting bosses? Yes please. If everything goes well, the game should be out in fall 2025. This has now been corroborated between 3 different sources. So I'm definitely gonna, I'm very confident in saying that Persona 6 is coming out next year. The colors of the game are 2 this time, dark and green. I don't really know what they're talking about dark. Is dark even a color? But green was confirmed by Midori, so I'm inclined to believe that this particular part of the leak is true. Like in the other games, the colors have a story significant meaning. We came up with this because we went to Mr. Hashino to ask why he decided to make those colors for the previous games. And he simply said he thought about the YMCK color scheme before even thinking the theme of the game. We thought it was weird to just make black the main color, so we decided to give some new ideas to our seniors. And that's how we came with the 2 colors ideas. A few more things I am going to say. Now, I don't know about this one. This one seems a little bit fishy. But also, if Hashino is consulting, both P Studio and Studio Zero would, I assume, share the same ATLUS building or building in Tokyo, then it is entirely possible. The protagonists are 2. It is no secret there was an intention to make 2 protagonists in P5, so we decided to rescue that. They are twins, not very much alike though. So this is exciting, to say the least. Very interesting as well. Dual protagonists have been speculated about a lot, possibly male and female. Who knows? And I can definitely see where they are coming from with Kasumi, Sumire, and Joker in P5. So who really, who knows at this stage? But it'd be really interesting to see 2 protagonists, especially for a Persona game. This time, the time period of the game is 1.5 years instead of 1 school year. You will have to play to know why. Yay, longer game. I don't want Persona to end. Now this part is the meat and potatoes, guys, so get ready. The setting is again a school. But this time is special. It's an art facility. We really wanted to make it more mature, but our bosses wanted to make it appeal to the young fantasy era. So we came up with a mix of it. The idea of the art facility was having high schoolers in their late years and young adults in their college age, allowing us to appeal to our bosses' intentions and ours. The theme of the group this time are artists. Musicians, painters, you sure can think of more than 2 or 3. In this game, the number 2 is very important, as you have probably noticed. 2 protagonists, 2 colors, and a bit more. So we are having 2 new mechanics. One of them is the zones of the game. What do I mean with zones? Have an alternate version of them, you can call them dark. And the other one is a new mechanic attached to the characters and their personas, not just summoning this time. So guys, artists. Theme of art and artists. High schoolers preparing for adult life. Like seriously, if you cannot see the correlations here, just rewatch this video. Now again, all of this is highly speculative. If it hasn't been confirmed by Midoriya, I would take this with a grain of salt, but everything does make sense. The 25th anniversary artwork with painting, graffiti, music notes, and color green. There's got to be something here. There's really got to be something here. The 2 new mechanics sound interesting as well. Zones and hubs sound very much like they're trying to do what they are doing in Metaphor. And another mechanic regarding people's personas that isn't just summoning. This sounds really cool. Anyways, continuing on. We are rescuing a few ideas from other games, like the idea of traveling from P5 strikers and the idea of having adults in the game. Going back to the protagonists, there is no intention to make them very different story-wise. The other sibling will have a slightly different personality, but their story is going to be the same no matter who you choose, apart from 3 different confidants and 1 different party member, depending on who you choose. So this to me just sounds like a lot of replayability here, so you can basically play like both storylines, so be pretty interesting. Going back to the twins, both of them are in the middle of their 3rd year. We wanted to explore that awful moment that comes with entering the adult world, so you're going to be able to play as them in their 1st year of adult. But you will have to wait more years if you want to drink. I think that's just a little bit of a joke there. Again, for those of you who want an adult cast, this may be a good compromise. But having 2 protagonists is still something that is very interesting. There would have to be male and female, surely, right? So that is pretty much the end of the leak. A lot of information, so definitely go rewatch and definitely check out the Reddit thread as well below. Now again, a lot of this is speculative, a lot of this is just rumor based only, and without anyone sort of confirming this, I will take this with a grain of salt. But just like I mentioned before, the parallels are there, you know, with the art, the graffiti, the color green. I think this might be a very, very credible leak. If all of this is true, or maybe at least partially true, Persona 6 is shaping up to be one amazing game. I think the setting of artists and art in general can open a lot of interpretation, and it will be definitely interesting to see what their take on it will be. Regardless though, I am truly hyped, and I'm definitely ready for the next mainline game in the Persona series. Please don't forget to leave a like and comment about what do you want to see most in Persona 6. I'm sure we'll be definitely finding out more information sometime this year. So subscribe and click that notification button, as I will be definitely covering everything about Persona 6. So thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video.